Hello everyone, my name is Nidhi Maheshwari and I'm here to share a small story with you. So one fine evening there was a man who was going back to his home, and he found some crowd gathered around the roadside, and he bothered to ask one of the men that what is happening there, and he got to know that there was some accident that happened here, and he heard it and then he left. Then he reached home and he had a beautiful daughter, who was also a working woman, but she wasn't there. So usually she used to be there early than his father, but that day she was not there. He asked his wife that why has she not been here till now. So she replied that she has been trying to reach her daughter, but she's not there. She's unable to connect with her. Even he tried to reach out to his daughter, but he was unable to do that. So he was waiting that she might be on his way, and let's wait and she might be reaching home. So what happened was he didn't even receive the call and he was unable to connect. But few minutes later, he received a call from his daughter, and what he realized was that there were some other men speaking out there on his daughter's phone, and what he spoke was that his daughter has met an accident, and he asked his dad to reach out on the location as soon as possible. So he left for the place, and what he realized at that point was when he reached the place, he realized that it was the very same place he left unheard, and he didn't stop and he then didn't bother to reach out to help, and it was his own daughter that was lying on the roadside for help. And if he would have been there, if he would have helped, she might have been alive today. But unfortunately she died, his daughter died, because she would not get the required treatment that day. So if he would have helped, and he would have, if his daughter would have got the right help at the right time, then she might have been alive that day. The very morale that I'm sharing this story here is with is because I have myself experienced the same thing. One fine morning, I was way back to my school, and I met an accident, which was like I felt unconscious on the roadside, and I didn't even realize. So there were people around capturing photos and making videos and making stories out of it, but I think none bothered to help. Then what happened was one of my school teacher, which was a primary school teacher, was passing by, and she saw the dress of mine which I was wearing. So she realized that I was from the same school. She stopped and then she tried to help. She tried to connect with my mom, and she tried to get the number and some relevant details of mine from my bag. But since I didn't carry a lot of books, and it was 11th and 12th class story, so I really didn't have the diary even. So the relevant details were not really easy to find. Then somehow she got one of the details of my mother and she tried to connect to her. But what happened was, unfortunately my mother's phone went off, switch off from the it was off from the past 3 days, and she was unable to connect. She tried to reach out to the school reception and get the relevant details of mine, and that is got a relevant number, alternative number of my father. She tried to reach out to my dad and told him that your daughter has met an accident and we are taking her to the nearest hospital. Please reach out as soon as possible. That very day, that fine morning only, my father came from the tour, and my mother was on a sorry, my mother was on a morning walk. My brother was sleeping, so they rushed to the hospital. And when I uh, when I was there, I gained consciousness, and as soon as I gained consciousness, I saw my principal, the secretary member, the sports teachers, and a few other teachers of mine. Soon my father and my whole family was around. I was taken for CT scan and MRIs, and the report came in, and it was not an internal injury, and thankfully that helped. I got to have a lot of stitches here on the head, and that's how I was alive. That's how I am saved, and today I'm here making the video and telling you the story. So the very reason I'm narrating all this and my own personal experience is because I want that even I was not bothered that if somebody has met an accident, that we should wait and help. Rather, what we do is we are busy in our own lives and we don't even bother to check that who is there, and we just want to rush into our own places. So it should not be the fact. After this is the great learning for me. I have learned that we really should not do this. If the same thing would have been done by my teacher, if even she was getting late for the school, but if she wouldn't have stopped, I wouldn't have been alive today. So the very reason that I'm sharing this is that we should wait and help and not wait for others to come in and help. Thank you.